This video is on solving inequalities with addition and subtraction. To solve an inequality means to find the values of x that make it true. Recall that there is not just one number that makes an inequality true, but instead there is an infinite number of values that are greater or less than a given number that will work in that inequality. Solving an inequality is similar to solving an equation. We can add or subtract the same number to both sides of the inequality in order to isolate the variable. As with an equation, we want to undo whatever was done to x. So let's take a look at several examples here. It says solve each inequality and then graph your solution on a number line. Our first one is x plus 5 is greater than 13. So notice that 5 is being added to x, so I want to subtract 5 on both sides, and I have x is greater than 8. That's the solution to my inequality. Now if I want to graph that, I'm just going to do a simple number line. I'm going to put 8 in the middle, and I'm going to do one number larger and one number smaller. And since this is not an or equal to, it's just a greater than, it's going to be an open circle over 8. And since it's greater than, it's going to be going in the positive direction on the number line. So there's your solution and a graph of the solution. Recall that that means that there are a whole lot of answers to this. X can be anything that is bigger than 8. It can be 9, it could be 8.1, it could be 8.000001. Let's take a look at our second one. Negative 6 plus x is less than or equal to negative 16. So x has a negative 6 being added to it, so I want to add 6 on both sides. So x is going to be less than or equal to negative 10. Now let's graph that. So let's draw a number line. Let's put a negative 10 in the middle, and I want one number larger. Be careful with negative numbers. That's going to be a negative 9, and one number smaller, negative 11. And since this is an or equal to inequality, I'm going to have a closed circle or a solid dot over the 10, and x is less than that, so it's going in the negative direction. Remember that this means that x can be negative 10 or any number that is smaller than negative 10. Number 3 says x minus 7 is less than 15. So to solve this, I'm going to add 7 to both sides. So x is less than 22. To graph this, I'll draw my number line. Put 22 in the middle, one number larger, one number smaller, and since this is not an or equal to, I'm going to have an open circle, and it's a less than or equal to, so it's going in the negative direction. So x can be any number that is less than 22. And our last example here is 12 plus x is greater than or equal to 9. Since that's a positive 12, I'm going to subtract 12 on each side. So x is greater than or equal to negative 3. And a graph for that is a number line with a negative 3, one number larger, one number smaller. Since this is a greater than or equal to, I will have a solid dot over the 3, and it's greater than, so it's going to be going in the positive direction. So x can be any number that is equal to negative 3 or greater than negative 3. So in this video we took a look at how to solve an inequality using addition or subtraction, very straightforward one-step problems, and then how to graph the solution on a number line.